Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coco Chats with Julie and Carr. I'm Carr, and this is.
Really?
Hi! And today
Hi.
we are going to be talking about childhood games. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, our childhood game. So, yeah, why don't you kick us off, Car? What was the first childhood game that you remember playing?
So, the first childhood game that I remember playing was Detective Barbie and the Mystery of the Carnival Caper. And
Oh.
that game was literally what made me fall in love with Nancy Drew games because it was a mystery.
Yay.
You got to go, look for clues and, find the suspects and that kinda thing, and you got to ride the rides, which was, like, the coolest thing. I remember
Oh, yeah?
going down a
That's so
slide.
cool.
You go down the slide and you chase the suspect, and you have to try to, like, capture like, hit them, which is really crazy. Like, there's, like, twists and turns. Oh, Julie, it was awesome.
That sounds so fun. Yeah, I've not
Mhm.
actually played that one.
Yeah.
That's one of the Barbie games I haven't played. I'm sure that I played more than just this one at some point in my life. I don't remember though. But the first Barbie game anyway that I remember playing was the snowboarding and skating one.
Me too, I remember
I
that
just remember that
too.
one so much, like, how you'd have to, like, skate and slide over the tokens and, like, or you'd snowboard and you go down through the rings, and she'd go like, "Great job." And, like, that just stuck with me for some reason. That game was so much fun.
Mhm. I remember going
Um
through, like, the little like, there were, like, flags and you had to go through them
Yeah, you'd
and
have to go through them, and yeah, I remember that, and, like, the graphics probably were not great for either of those games, but, like,
No.
oh man, they were good for the '90s.
Oh, yeah. They were awesome. That's yeah.
Mhm.
All those Barbie games back in the day were, like, pretty awesome, though, for their time, I would say.
Yeah, they were great, and they were so entertaining and so much fun. There were a lot of good games back when we grew up. I will tell you though, the one game that I remember playing, like, as a 5 or 6-year-old, right? This little wee child, and
Little
I
wee
grew up with a
Julie.
computer in my house. We had a Macintosh. My dad was in IT, so, like, we always had a computer in my house.
Mhm.
Um, but little wee Julie was not allowed after something happened to play Oregon Trail, and I'm sure if you played Oregon Trail, you can guess why. Um, so the fun fact about Oregon Trail is your entire party can die, and it's through no control of your own, you don't always get a say in if someone gets sick or not.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so my entire party died. I went crying to my mom, she's like, "You're not allowed to play that game anymore," because she didn't wanna deal with the emotional trauma. It's the exact same reason I was not allowed to have a Tamagotchi growing up,
Oh,
because,
I didn't have one either.
my mom knew that, like, you could kill it. It could die.
Mhm.
And she's like, "I'm not dealing with that. That's not a thing I'm about to do." So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun fact. I've never owned a Tamagotchi, and
You can't play Oregon Trail.
I was not allowed to play Oregon Trail growing up.
So,
Cheers.
oh, yeah, cheers. No, but, what I think is crazy is I actually in school, in elementary school, we were allowed to play Oregon Trail, and I think that's
In
crazy
elementary
because
school.
there was a lot of death. I don't even remember if I ever made it to
That's so
Oregon.
funny.
I don't think I did, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I did make it to Oregon, or watched my brother make it to Oregon, but, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was probably the best decision they could have made to not let me play that game anymore because it was a little traumatizing.
Yeah.
Another game that I remember, like, really, like, from back in my childhood was, I had the American Girl doll, like, theater game, um,
Ooh, I didn't have
and
that game.
that was, like, always pretty fun, like, you could make little stage productions with them, so that was
Oh.
fun.
Did you
I
have
also
an American
als
Girl doll?
Oh, yeah, I had 3. I had, Kirsten was my first one, Samantha, and then I had Kaya.
I had Felicity.
Felicity, of course, because she looks like you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and I wasn't allowed to, like, really play with her a lot, like, I, had to take ver I she's still, like, very good, well taken care of, like, she's
Aw.
I played with her a little bit, but I was never allowed to play with her a ton growing up because we wanted to keep
Yeah.
her in,
Good
good
condition, yeah.
condition. Mhm.
I played with mine, like, their hair is so ratty. It's kind of disastrous.
I love that.
Um, but yeah, like, I mean, Kaya's hair is still in her braids, like, I've never taken them out of her braids, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with my dolls a
That's
lot
awesome. I
growing
had
up,
I had no
and
idea there was a game. That's what's really cool.
yeah, there was, like, a little theater stage production game, which maybe got me interested in theater because I did theater for a while. But I also would
Aw,
play, they had little mini games on their website, and I'd play those a lot.
I love that.
They had a
That's
mahjong game,
awesome.
and I was really good at that. That's why I love mahjong so much now.
Well,
Mhm.
so another, big thing is so I grew up having a PC. My parents had, a big computer, it was huge, with floppy disks, which is
Floppy
wild.
disks! Comment down below if you know what a floppy disk is.
Yes, yes, comment down below.
If you're old like us.
But one of my favorite games growing up playing, on the PC was Rollercoaster Tycoon. Loved, loved, loved that game.
Rollercoaster Tycoon, yes! I
Oh.
remember that one. My brother's favorite thing to do in that game, and my brother's only a year older than me, so, like, we're
Mhm.
pretty close in age, we played video games together a lot. Um, he would love to, like, make the roller coasters, like, do a loop and then have it shoot off the map, so they all died.
That's great, that's
He'd also,
terrible.
like, drag people off the map into the water on the outside. Yeah. I didn't have the heart for that, but, you know.
I would speed my roller coasters up really like, fast, but, like, not to kill them, but to, like, literally when they got off, you would just see a bunch of people barfing.
Yeah, I honestly probably never played Rollercoaster Tycoon that much, although you can get an app for your phone now that is Rollercoaster
You
Tycoon. Fun facts
can?
chat.
I didn't know that.
Um, but basically, I I was a Zoo Tycoon girl. I would
Oh,
play Zoo Tycoon
yes.
all the time. I love Zoo Tycoon, and, like, to this day, I love Zoo Tycoon. It's,
Mhm.
one of my favorite games because um, well, I mean, if you know anything about me, and you may not if you're here for the first time, but I am a zoo nerd and I worked in zoos for 5 years after graduating from college. So,
Zoo
um,
Tycoon is
Zoo
awesome,
Tycoon is lit. Yeah, I loved having the animals there and everything. I was like, "I'm gonna work in a zoo someday," and then I did it.
which is
Little childhood
awesome.
me should be proud of myself. But
Mhm.
I always wanted and I never got the aquatic, addition to Zoo Tycoon, the second one,
Oh, that would've been so
um,
cool.
because the reason I wanted this was because I'd read in a magazine, and I know this is true because people have done it.
Mhm.
People have done it. If you fill up a tank with water, like one of the, aquatic animal tanks, and you put a mermaid statue in it, you get a mermaid.
And you get an does it move? Does she
Yeah,
move?
like a real
Ah!
mermaid. I wanted a real mermaid, and I never got it, so, you
Oh,
know. Might
I
have to
love
try it
that.
now as an adult if I can get Zoo Tycoon to work.
Zoo Tycoon is awesome though, because I love that you could put, like, different animals in different,
Mhm.
areas and that kinda thing, and it's just so
Yeah.
cool. That game is very fun. Uh,
It was the best. Although there is a new Zoo Tycoon on Steam, and it is terrible. I
it's
could never
terrible.
figure out how to get it to work. It was
Yeah.
so bad. It was so bad,
Oh.
dude. I tried to stream it once, and it was not good. But, yeah, that was my Tycoon. I know a lot of people love Roller Coaster Tycoon. I remember, like, after college, when I was staying with a family friend, the son was, like, playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, but he had to leave it up all the time because he couldn't save it. Because,
Oh.
it was, like, such an old game, so he had to
Yeah.
leave it running all the time. But, yeah,
Well,
those games, like, I just wish they'd remake those games, like, honestly.
yeah.
Um,
My
but
sisters and I played it a lot though. Like, we
yeah,
played Rollercoaster Tycoon all the time, and we
yeah.
also played The Sims a ton growing up.
The Sims?
Mhm,
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, the hardest thing in those games for me was, like, always, like, managing the money. Like,
mhm.
SimCity was the same, so that's why I never played SimCity that much. But, like, The Sims, such a fun game. I
Oh,
did not
yeah.
play it as a child. I've only played it
Really?
as an adult. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have it growing up, but I have it
Oh,
now, and
I
sometimes I'll play it.
I was addicted to playing it. Now we were like literally, I think growing up, I was only allowed to play like an hour or two of a video game a night. Like
Yeah.
we were kind
Mhm.
of like told, okay, you're going to play an hour and then you got to do other stuff. So we could pick
Yeah.
whichever game we wanted to play. But a lot of the time when I played The Sims,
Yeah.
we uh, were able, like, we would go in, we'd pick the family. I normally, because I didn't have a lot of time, I didn't spend a lot of time on the house. I wanted to actually play the game, like
Mhm.
actually go through the game of life in a sense, you know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always like designing the characters, that's my favorite part of that game. I
Yeah.
don't remember if I had limits on how much time I was allowed to spend on video games. I think we probably did, but I feel like also probably my parents were a little more lax on that because
Yeah.
we were already kids who played outside a lot.
Oh, me too.
We read a lot.
Yeah.
We did a lot of things, and I think it was more of a as long as you get your homework done, like,
Yeah.
you can play video games. And, like, I don't think they were also, like I think it was also nice for them because Jimmy, my brother, and I would play together. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was like brother and sister time as long as we were playing together and, like, that sort of thing, but yeah, definitely by the time we were in high school, we were kind of allowed to, like, play our own video games. We also had laptops in high school though, so, like, I was like, "Oh yeah, Nancy Drew, let's go."
That's so nice. Well, see, me and my sister played a lot. I have 2 sisters, but the one was is a lot younger, so she didn't really play as much. She would watch us a lot because she was very young, but,
Yeah.
we also another game that we used to play a lot, was Frogger. I loved Frogger.
Oh my gosh,
And I grew
Frogger.
up with PlayStation, so it was on the PlayStation. I had a PS1 and then a PS2, but, Frogger was awesome because you literally had to, like, navigate the busy streets, try not to get, like, ran over by a truck, which is
Yeah.
terrible.
I've seen that game in, like, Dave& and Buster's now. I did not grow
Mhm.
up with any consoles, I only had PC to play on, so, like, I missed out on these awesome
Oh,
opportunities. I don't know, I play solitaire sometimes
yeah, solita
and
oh
stuff
my
like
gosh,
that, like,
solitaire is
that's only
so
on
fun.
PC. But, like, I was a weird kid, dude. I
Did
was a weird kid. Minesweep, let's go,
Yes, Minesweep. Did you
but
Julie, did you play, so here's something that I, love to get on and play. I used to play growing up Neopets.
I never played Neopets
I
because I wasn't
loved
allowed to have
it.
online accounts
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
The only online account I had growing up was Her Interactive.
Wow. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that's
Like,
crazy.
I was on the community forums for Her Interactive, so,
I'm pretty sure we had to have our
um,
parents help us, but we created these, and I used to play Neopets growing up as well. It was so fun.
yeah. It's funny nowadays, like, looking at kids nowadays, like, I feel like my parents were so protective of me online back in the like, '90s and early 2000s, and, like,
Mhm.
as well they should be, right? Like, they should have been, like,
Mhm.
internet's a scary place for a kid, and, like, kids don't have the always realize, like, what's dangerous, and now parents are just like, "Go do whatever you want." I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like the internet is more dangerous now.
Is now
Like, what
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
if there's any people younger than the age of 18 watching this stream, just be careful out there. And I mean, if you're over the age of 18, just be careful out there.
Yeah.
Internet's a scary place.
It is, it really is. Another great childhood game that we played growing up was Spyro.
Oh, yeah,
And
Spyro.
right now, everybody, I have been going back and streaming them as an adult, but as a kid, this was a game that I played with my family, my entire family.
That's so
It was like
fun.
awesome because it brought us all together and we would play.
Love that.
And when my dad, like when we couldn't figure out how to do like a part of the game, we'd be like, "Dad, you got to help us," and he'd come
Dad, you
in
gotta
and help
help.
us.
Oh my gosh. Spyro, we were talking about this a little bit ago. Is Spyro reminds me of one of the games that I grew up playing with my brother, Croc. And Croc, I feel like a lot of people don't know this game, but it was
Yeah,
about a
I
little
don't know it.
crocodile, and he was raised by these brown fuzzballs named gobos.
Ooh.
And, the gobos got kidnapped, so Croc had to go save them, and he also had to, like,
Oh,
collect jewels along the way. But he would save them. He'd defeat enemies
yeah.
by, flipping his tail around and smacking them.
So it
So,
literally does
it's a
remind me
fun
of
game.
Spyro.
Yeah, I wanna go back and play that game because it was so much fun,
You
and I think I'd be better
should.
at it now. Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe if I can find it and figure out how to get it to run, I'll play it on stream sometime.
Yes, that would be
Um,
awesome. I
but
love
it's
that.
it's a fun game, and I don't know if it'd be quite the same without my brother though, but yeah, you were talking about, like, your siblings,
Mhm.
playing with you and everything, and your little sister watching,
Mhm.
and yeah, I would watch my brother play a lot of video games, so, like, that's also
Oh.
a lot of the
And
experience of childhood video games for me. Because
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'd never be good at this," and he's a year older than me, so, like, he was better at video games than me.
Yeah.
And also, like, it was more acceptable for boys to play video games
Yeah. Yeah.
even back then. Um, so, like, shooters and stuff like that, not he didn't really play shooters, he played, like, Star Wars games,
Yeah.
which are sorta shooters,
Sort of
I guess.
shooters. Yeah.
Um he would play those, and I would, like, watch him play
Aw.
those. And, speaking of Star Wars, though, what we did both play growing up, and this was a great game,
Uh-huh.
was Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Ooh.
And I always loved those games.
Aw.
Um, they were so much fun, and I think recently the Old Republic came out, which is like the online version of that game, which I
Mhm.
still have not played. I have it.
Yeah.
Have it. I promise I'll play it someday.
Yeah.
It's on my Xbox. But I just loved Knights of the Old Republic. I was a really big fan of the games that you could play, like like that, like where you just like they were really open world, but they were single player.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
maybe I would like Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Um, but I love those open world games that didn't have other people online. It just pulls me out of the world with MMOs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big MMO person. Like I'm like I want to feel like this story is actually happening.
Yeah.
I want it to be real. And if I know all of you are doing the same quest as me, it's
Yes.
not real.
Yeah. Well,
But
the other
yeah,
thing that's, like, a fun fact is I've never seen Star Wars until this year. So,
that's
I
insane,
never
Carly.
played any of those games growing up because my sisters and I just weren't really into the whole Star Wars thing, but I've seen them all now officially, in even, like, The Mandalorian and everything like that.
Star Wars was my sick day movie growing up, so, I'm glad you've
Ooh.
seen them all. Did you watch
Yes.
them in, order?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, so you watched from episode 1 on.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
crazy to me 'cause, again, it was my sick day movie growing up. The episodes 1, 2, and 3 had not come out yet, so,
Mhm.
um, that's crazy. The other Star Wars game that I really like to play with my brother, and this was a multiplayer game, was Lego Star Wars. Lego Star Wars was so much fun. I don't know if you've ever played any of the Lego games, Car,
Lego
but
Harry
they're
Potter.
so much fun. Lego Harry Potter is fun too.
Mhm.
I don't know if I consider it do they talk in Lego Harry Potter? I can't remember. Do they say words?
Kind
There
of,
was a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
there was a certain point where they switched to the characters actually speaking, and I was
Yes.
like, "No,
Yes.
the fun of the Lego games was they didn't
They
talk.
didn't really talk, yeah. Like,
They
they
just
kinda say the
mimed it."
spell. They do say the spell in a sense, like, yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
such a
See,
fun
if that's
game.
all they do then, like, that's okay. But, like, the Jurassic World one, they
Mhm.
actually say voice lines. I'm like, "No,
No.
they're supposed to mime it. That's part of the fun of it." But, I think you can multiplayer on Steam, like, Lego Star Wars. I think I have it.
Oh,
Maybe we
that's
could
so
try to, like,
cool.
co-stream that sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, we should. Now that I now
That'd be fun.
especially because of,
Mhm.
now that I've seen Star Wars, I know what's going on,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, which is
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, they're so much fun though. Like I love Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I would love to go back and play those again. But yeah, I just remember being sitting at the same keyboard, my arms would be crossed because my brother would always be player one, so he'd get the good controls, but I had to cross my arms because I was like,
Nope.
I can't switch like which hand is doing what.
Oh. Um,
Yeah.
another wonderful childhood game that I loved to play was DDR. For those of you who don't know, that was Dance Dance Revolution.
I never played that and I've tried as an adult and I'm so bad.
Where it was like front or, like forward, backwards, left, right, and I'm like, "This is great, this is awesome." So,
Yeah, those games look fun, but I have no
I think
coordination
I
whatsoever.
think they have them at a lot of Dave& and Buster's now as well, and I have gone back and played them, and I'm still, like, pretty decent at it.
Yes,
We used to play it a
Carly.
lot. Yeah, me and my sister, our favorite I know my one of my favorite songs in there was Sandstorm.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It
That's
was
so
so
funny.
fast and you had to, like, move your feet really, really fast, but it was just such fun energy, and I love that game.
Nice.
Mhm.
Um, let's think. So I guess this childhood game stream wouldn't be really complete though if we didn't mention Nancy Drew at least a little bit, because
Yes,
that's the reason
yes.
we know each other.
Mhm. Aw, I love it.
Yay. But yeah, Nancy Drew games, I know formed a huge part of my childhood. So it all started like when I was in 4th grade, and I had seen a book in my grandmother's attic that was Nancy Drew's Secret of the Old Clock. It was my mom's when she was growing up. So I saw that and I was like, oh,
Oh.
okay, like that looks interesting. And I never read it, but then my mom took us to Best Buy one day. We were living in Maine, and my mom was like, "Each of you can pick out a video game." And I saw a purple video game. I was like, "Huh, "What is this?" And it had Nancy Drew written on it in fancy script letters, and it was, purple, so obviously drew my eye. It
Of
was
course.
Treasure in the Royal Tower, and that started my Nancy obsession, and I have not gone back since. I have played every single Nancy Drew game to date. I joined the Her Interactive message boards later that year when I,
Yes.
was 10 and actually, it was allowed to join.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Aw, that's so fun. And for
Mhm.
me, I know that me and my sister, from playing the Detective Barbie game, we wanted to play more mystery games. And we were out shopping somewhere, and I think the first couple of Nancy games we did play was Treasure in the Royal Tower, and I can fondly remember us playing Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, and that was scary in and of itself. That's one of the scariest Nancy games to this day for me. I remember as a kid I was like, that is terrifying.
Oh, yeah. That
But
one was actually really scary, though, like, that's the only nature game that's ever scared me. I know everyone says, like, "Oh, Shadow at the Water's Edge is so scary," and, like,
mhm.
sometimes I wish I was one of those people who could at least fake a response. 'Cause, like, I feel like people go there to streams, like, when you're playing a horror game for the reaction.
Yes, yes. Oh, 100%.
I don't react. I
Yeah.
just look at it, I'm like, "Oh, there's the Ure, okay.
Yeah.
Hey." Like, "What you doing, Kasumi? How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey there, demons, it's me, a boy."
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just don't get scared by those things. So, the Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake and I'll give you the reason why it scared me. The dogs attack the house, right? You're
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh, okay, wow, that
Their
happened."
eyes were
Then
scary.
you have to go out at night into the woods.
Mhm.
Nancy leaves the house directly after the dog attack to go talk to Red.
Yeah. So the
Like,
childhood yeah, and as a child, you're like, "Why am I going out in the woods?" You'd never do that. I wouldn't.
why? Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. So, like, why would I ever go out in the woods? Like, I was so scared the dogs were gonna attack me, I was gonna die,
Oh, me
but
too.
no, no.
Mhm.
Little childhood me did not realize they were not gonna code that.
Yeah, yeah. But nor did I.
So,
I thought the same thing. I was like, "These dogs are gonna
yeah.
attack me in the woods because you could hear, like, the, "Oh," and, like, yeah, it was
Oh.
terrifying.
Yeah, no, it's so scary, and it's just, like, so traumatizing to a small child, but yeah. That was the only nature game that ever scared me, in case you guys were wondering. Yes, I was absolutely
Oh,
terrified.
yeah.
I don't know when my scare factor just turned off, but, like,
No, that's
I'm good now.
awesome.
I'm chill.
I still get scared easily a little bit, playing different games, but I think the one thing that I really will say is that and the one biggest reason why we decided to do the childhood games was because this is like this childhood game, like playing Nancy Drew is what brought the two of us together, and
Yeah.
that's like really sweet and I love it.
And it's like they're like childhood games, but, like, they're also, like,
Adult
bomb games,
yeah.
like, they're so good, and I know saying, like, bomb, like, thebomb.com is, like, old of me to say, but, if we're going back in time, Imma use the slang.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
And, yeah. Well, and so if we're going a little bit back in time as well, I also grew up with the Wii, and I wanted to share with everybody, I still have my
Ah,
Wii,
the
and I still have some of my favorite Wii games, which, Mario Kart, of
Oh, of
course,
course,
um,
100%.
Mario Party. Yes, yes, Mario
Yes.
Party. Super Mario Galaxy. I remember there was a huge snowstorm and, my entire family, we were, like, stuck inside the house, so we
Oh,
literally, I think,
no.
played this whole game. It was great, it was great. And then because I played DDR a lot, I also love all of the Just Dance games. Like, love them, love them.
Oh my
Um
gosh. We didn't have a Wii ever, but my grandpa did because, it was supposed to help older people with their balance.
Mhm.
So, basically, it was a toy for him,
Oh.
like, it just we bowling, he'd always just sit in his chair and, like, bowl from his chair. I got real good at Wii bowling.
Oh, I love Wii bowling.
Then we would, do the Wii Fitness games. We all had, like,
Oh.
one game that we were particularly good at. He was really good at that one where you float down the river in a bubble. Don't know how he did it, but he was
That one was
beast at
so
it.
crazy, yes. Oh,
So good.
I love that.
So good. And then also, let's see, we had I was really good at the penguin one, like
Oh,
the one
the
where you're on a little
penguin!
iceberg and
Yeah!
it tips to either side and you have to catch the fish. Yeah,
Mhm,
that one was I was a pro.
mhm.
Um, Car likes that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But
I do.
yeah, the Wii was a lot of fun, and we do see Super Mario Kart too, like,
Oh, I
I'm sure,
loved
like,
it.
when we go up there for Christmas, we'll get the Wii out and we'll play it, like, because my brother and his wife are gonna be there, and hopefully my cousin will be there too.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll get the Wii out, we'll do the fitness games. We like to do the Wii Fit Age. Did you ever do that?
Mhm, mhm,
That's a lot of fun just because, like, when you get, like, just a slightly off because you get one of the really bad games,
mhm.
and, like, it tells you, "Oh, you're 64,"
You're
and it's like,
64. Uh-huh.
"What?"
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll do that. We'll do all of that, and we'll have a good time doing it, I'm sure.
Did you play growing up, Julie, Guitar Hero?
I did not. I have played guitar well, Rock Band,
Mhm.
that one.
Oh, I played
I
both.
have played it. I have not done the Guitar Hero part.
Oh, I love Guitar
I
Hero.
have, however, done the singing
Yes.
part,
Yes.
because I can do that. I don't have
Oh,
coordination.
yeah.
But
I love
did you
it. Do, do, do,
know
do.
that there is actually, so to speak, Guitar Hero for actual guitar?
No, I didn't realize that.
I saw my friend play it recently, and it's, like, sort of how he's learned songs on it,
Mhm.
and it's really good, like, it's
That's
really
so
cool. Yeah.
cool. I should look into that because I loved Guitar Hero growing up. I thought
Oh,
it was
yeah.
fun. I wasn't very good. I could never play on, like, super hard mode. Nope, nope, nope. I could only play on
Um,
medium. But that
did you
was
ever
still
play
good.
Tap Tap Revenge?
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, I'm good at that.
Mhm.
I am real good at that. I am pro.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah. Oh,
oh,
or what was the one on the iPod video? I'm getting, like, into, like, phone and iPod games now.
yeah,
Um, but,
where you
like, the
play
iPod video one where you, like, would bounce the ball and, like, break the blocks, and yeah,
Oh, I
I was good at
loved
that too.
that. Yeah.
That's fun facts, guys. That's in a Haunted Carousel and Secrets Can Kill Remastered, and sometimes I go start a game in Secrets Can Kill Remastered just to play that.
Just to play it. I love that. Yeah.
I love that game so much.
Mhm. But,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I, will say is that our wonderful childhood games, kind of make us the gamers that we are today, and I think that's
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Like,
100%. Kinda
you
make you
know
the person you are today too, like,
Mhm.
all those, like, jumpstart games we played back in the past and, like,
Oh,
those
yeah.
ones. Like, all the learning games, like, yeah, you were
Mhm.
saying earlier that, like, they helped with your math skills,
Yeah.
and
Like
Zoo Tycoon made me a zookeeper.
mhm, and, like,
So,
Jumpstart really, like, did because like, made me very mathematically like, I was very
yeah.
good at math my whole life, and, and I think it's because of Jumpstart.
Educational games like Jumpstart.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I mean, I think I was talking to Carly about this earlier, was with, like, gamification, and I'm gonna nerd out for just a moment, but I'm in grad school for education, and gamification is the idea of bringing video games into the classroom or video game concepts into the classroom, to sort of, motivate your students,
Yes.
so, like, creating little rewards for doing things like video games have. But, like, I definitely wanna bring video games into my classroom when I do actually have a classroom,
Yeah.
maybe some Nancy Drew games, we'll see. I'm gonna be an English teacher in high school, so, like,
Yes.
maybe we'll read some stuff that could involve Nancy Drew games. Maybe we'll all play a Nancy
Yes.
Drew game together. I don't know. I just
Yes.
love the concept of gamification, though, because I feel like it's if you can learn in a fun way, why would you not learn in that way instead of the old, boring,
Note
lecture-y
and
way?
paper note and
Like,
paper.
if it's actually gonna engage you and you're gonna pay attention, like, why would you not have kids learn that way? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't want my kids to be napping in my class.
Yes, yes. Oh, but, well, we wanna
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for hanging
Yeah,
out.
thank you so much. Make sure to comment below.
Mhm. Your favorite
Um,
childhood games.
yeah, your favorite childhood games and if you still play any of them
Mhm.
and how can I play them? Because I wanna play
Yes.
them too.
Me too.
But yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out and watching our Coco chats. And we'll be back soon with another video. But until then, some serious hard hands for you.
Woo! Bye,
Woo!
everyone.
Bye.